She is described as a living legend and cultural icon. Bennett was married to Eric Winston Coverley, an early performer and promoter of Jamaican theatre, from the 30th of May, 1954, until his death in August 2002. Bennett had one stepson, Fabian Coverley, and together, the couple adopted four daughters, Christine, Althea, Odette, and Simone. She enjoyed theatre, movies, and auction sales.
Put our phones on silent. The UWI Mona Library, together presenting the unveiling of Miss Lou's miniature statuette, exhibition, and launch of Jamaican Language Unit's 20th anniversary, right here in the UWI Library. It's Wednesday, September 7th, Miss Lou Day, Miss Lou birthday. And we're going to stand now for the playing of the national anthem. As we invite to the lectern Pastor Marsha Wade, who will pray in Jamaican.
Morning to the whole out in ya. Make we pray. Picnic, lock on the eye and clasp on the hand. Me see ya look pa me see him where. Why? Father God, we thank you for this little island you call Jamaica. We thank you, Almighty God, say, you pack it up with some holy people, with some holy talent. We thank you, God, for Miss Lou, God, who never make fun for show we where you put in her. Mighty God, me thank you, say, that today, we can't get fish. Celebrate our legacy. Mighty God, make everybody in here be inspired by where Miss Lou left and give way. Make everybody in here, mighty God, them talent and them gift no go dormant, but them seed fit for show it and show it off, so that this island of Jamaica can spread big and wider. Mighty God, make the picking of them, God, be inspired, God, for use where you give them. Them no one follow fashion, but make them use where you give them, God, for use it for your benefit and for your glory and for your honor. Touch we, God. Touch we in our special way today. Touch this plot of ground, God, where so much picnic there and adult there are study for be better. Make them nation better just because them living in it. Me pray for this proceedings, Almighty God, and me pray say your presence are go there with we, and God it are go be so nice and so till, and everybody are go left here happy and joyful. No say that them too can do something for make this land of Jamaica increase in our beauty, fellowship and prosperity, and play them part in the advancement of the welfare of the whole human race. So we thank you, God, that it is so and it is done. In a Jesus' name we pray. Amen. The amen then a part of doing now. Amen.
Thank you so very much, Pastor. You may be seated. And I am sure you have not had a prayer like that in a very long time, if any at all. Thank you so very much, Pastor. I have been given this privilege to bring opening remarks and an overview. And I thought to myself, there could be a few things I could mention. And I do recall earlier when I served at the JCDC in the capacity of specialist speech, drama, and literary arts, I brought something to my ED at that time, Ms. Hextall. And I said that we need a Miss Lou Day. And I approached, and we spoke about it, and she approached the board, and the board approached the Governor General. And here, what that was, 2000. I remember when my son was a little baby and he was in arms at the celebration that I was responsible for Miss Lou at that time. And to see that here we are today, how far the celebration of Miss Lou has come. I remember when I visited her in Canada, that lovely celebration. However, it's the bouquet that I presented her at the little theater when we did that celebration. That photo I wanted, and I can't find it. Even the video of that ceremony went all the way up to the final performance. They didn't show my performance, and they didn't show me giving her the bouquet. And she hugged me and kissed me. I want that video, I want that photo. Because I was on stage at that time, I couldn't provide it for myself. So which library, which librarian, which photographer, you're looking at me, sir, which videographer have that footage? I want it. I'll pay for it, no problem, but I want that record. So you have to help me with that. That's how important it is. And I'm not seeing Professor Cooper, but I know that when we spoke earlier about patois, I think today we have settled somewhat in saying Jamaican. That when we go elsewhere and we speak what we speak, mother tongue, persons ask, what are you talking? What is that lovely sound I hear? It is certainly not English. Well, it's Jamaican. That's what it is. And in our handbook at the JCDC, in our syllabus, just like how we have recorded what dub poetry is, we have recorded Jamaican. And we are saying we are moving away from the phrase patois and dialect and all of that. But I think the U is much more versed and versatile in sharing with the rest of us how we have arrived now at what we call Jamaican. I remember also that as a part of the Poet Laureate Committee, I said to the committee, I think we should, posthumously recommend that for the time when Miss Lou wrote, and she wrote about things Jamaican, all things Jamaican, that she really should have some privilege also as a poet laureate from that time. They said, no, it's not necessary because she's honored all different sort of way and so on. But that is still my opinion, and I still put it forward that that should be researched and considered based on the kind of work that she did at that time. That is something we should look into. I'm also happy that I've had the opportunity to be a part of the Grand Gala on several occasions. I remember wearing this one time when me and Faye hosted. That was quite a while. It still fit me good. May look a little tight, but it fit me nonetheless. I have to wear it for the occasion. And I remember preparing in different seasons, in different years, what we call ensembles, or what persons would call a mass choir, speaking choir, and we would present a work of Miss Lou in grand style on that stage, the Grand Gala. I hope we can still do that, especially as we move to JCDC 60, coming out of Jamaica 60 for the next gala. I'm putting it out from now, whoever that creative director is. If I'm still around, if you're still around, we want to see Miss Lou once again in fine style there at the Grand Gala, right? And I don't want to make too much talk right now. There are a few things that I want to say. And in support of this call for what we now call Jamaican, I know that if you go on Google today, you will see Google recognizing Miss Lou. But not only that, they have said language, Jamaican patois and English. I think by the next time around, the work that we should have done, it should say Jamaican, English. How about that? You think that's a good idea? I think that's what should happen by next time around when we celebrate Miss Lou 104. He's ready to bring welcome. Well, I have just a few things to say, and I have a long time in which I can say it. But Doctor does not have a long time. What am I talking about? I am talking about Professor Ian Boxill, Deputy Principal of the UWI. Mona, you're going to make him welcome as he makes us welcome.
Good morning. Unfortunately, I'm here to say welcome and leave. The fortunate part is that I'm here. The unfortunate part is that I have to run immediately afterwards because there's a meeting which I have to speak at, and they actually, as I'm sitting there, they were actually summoning me to the meeting. But the principal, Professor Dale Weber, has asked that I come here to welcome you on his behalf because he's also in that meeting. And thank you, Pastor, for those. When you preached a while ago, it covered me. The entire, I was washed and I feel so much cleaner and better. So you inspired me for this meeting that I'm going to, and I shall tell the principal also that I shall inform him that next time he goes to church, he should get you or someone like you to preach in his church. He has one of these proper churches where they speak in, But thank you so much. And that's the first time I've heard a sermon or a prayer delivered in Jamaica. Excellent. Thank you so much. And let me, on behalf of the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, welcome you to this campus. I understand that this event is a collaboration of a number of departments, 2 departments in the Faculty of Humanities and Education with the JCDC, and it involves the unveiling of a statuette of Miss Lou, and this statuette was gifted to the main library by the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports 2 years ago, but it was not officially handed over due to COVID. But COVID, we hope, it's on its way out. And as you can see, for those of you who are visiting the campus in the past, who haven't visited the campus in a while, you would see that our students are back with us, and we're happy because this is what the Mona campus is about. It's about engaging each other and about learning from each other. And we are also happy that this event is really happening at this time. In fact, I think this is the first event of its type, the first major event that has taken place on the campus since the reopening of the academic year for our students. So what a wonderful way in which we should start our year and our semester. So we thank you all for having this event, and in particular, I should mention a number of persons who will be party to this event. There are Dr. Vivek Milson White, who's the head of Department of Language, Linguistics and Philosophy. obviously Dr. Joseph Ferguson, who is the coordinator of the Jamaican Language Unit. I don't see Dr. Isis Samaj Hall here. Where is she? Oh, okay. I see her over there. Mrs. Jessica Lewis Marshall, Ms. Colette Blake, who's the Director of Community Cultural Development Services at JCDC. Ms. Paulette Sutherland, who's Parish Manager for JCDC. And Ms. Bowen, who is the Miss Jamaica Festival Queen. Where is she? She's not here. Ms. Claudette Blackburn, who's the cultural organizer, JCDC Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Office. And they're members of the media who are here. We thank you all for coming. And let me again convey on behalf of the principal our gratitude for all of you coming here today to take part in honoring one of our icons, someone who has been a trailblazer in making sure that we appreciate what is ours, our language and our culture. Also, let me also congratulate you, the Jamaica Language Unit, for 20 years. I know, Joseph, that when you first started, it was very controversial. And I think somebody mentioned Professor Cooper, who for a number of years engaged in the media. She and Professor Devonish trying to get people to understand that a language is a means of communication, and there's no bad language or good language, and that all languages evolve, and that languages reflect people's cultures. If you're an anthropologist, you will realize that you cannot understand a people without a language. It is impossible. No matter how good you are, unless you are able to decode that language, you're unable to understand the people. And it is important that we all appreciate and extend that which others have looked on and so fully appreciate. And who better than for us to honor than Miss Lou on her birthday. So once again, the Mona campus congratulates all of those who have been involved in this event. We celebrate Miss Lou, and rest assured that the language unit and all of the activities that you engage in to ensure that we promote our culture and our language, that those will be supported at the highest level of this institution. Once again, thank you all, and I wish for you a wonderful day in your celebrations. Thank you.
Professor, we thank you. And as he explained, he has a meeting, he has to go, but we continue our program, and our music item will get ready in the meantime. Because this morning, as we celebrate the late Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, OM, OJ, MBE, affectionately called Miss Lou, she was a poet, performer, storyteller, singer, actress, writer, broadcaster, and children's television show host. Miss Lou was one of the most outstanding daughters of this island in the development and showcasing of Jamaica's culture. She pioneered the use of the Jamaican language in live appearances on stage, radio, television, films, as well as in print. She made known to the world who we are as a people through the language and the content of her presentations. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the birthday, and we welcome you to the birthday celebration, anniversary celebration of the late Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, OM, OJ, MBE, Miss Lou, and of course, we have mentioned that it's the JCDC Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Office, the UWI Department of Language, Linguistics, and Philosophy, the UWI Mona Library have partnered together to host this event in her honor. And later on, of course, in this morning, we will be unveiling a statuette of Miss Lou, JCDC exhibition on her work, which is actually outside there, and launch of the Jamaica Language Unit 20th anniversary. I've called for a musical item so that the program flows smoothly. Let them come forth, and you put your hands together and feed the performers from now. Do you know that when you clap, you actually sustain the performers and you make the performance even better? Did you know that? So the more you applaud, is the more they feel ready to perform. So see them coming here, make them feel good. Miss Luda said, clap them, clap them. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the presence of the Honorable Olivia Grange, OJ, MP, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. Won't you make her welcome? Minister, I'm so delighted to see you. Locks, oh no, look at Minister. What a nice outfit. Nice to have you here, Minister. And so we just experienced a musical performance by St. Richard's Primary School with their item, The Boggy Brook. We continue our program, and we are happy to invite to the lectern Mrs. Marjorie Layden-Curtin, Acting Executive Director of the JCDC, to bring remarks on behalf of the Commission.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bradbourne. The Honorable Olivia Grange, OJ, MP, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport, Professor Ian Boxill, who, you know, had to leave us, Professor Opal Palmer Adisa, Chair, the inaugural Louise Bennett Coverley Festival Committee, Dr. Vivette Milson-White, Head, Department of Language, Linguistics, and Philosophy, Dr. Rachel Mosley-Wood, Head, Department of Literatures in English, Dr. Joseph T. Farquharson, Coordinator, Jamaica Language Unit, Dr. Isis Semaj Hall, Lecturer, Department of Literatures in English, Mrs. Jessica Lewis Marshall, acting campus librarian, the UWI Mona Library. Pastor Marsha Ward, Pastor, Liberty of Living Ministries International. Miss Colel Blake, Director of Community Cultural Development Services, acting at the JCDC. Miss Elizabeth Smith, Director of Corporate Services at the JCDC. We're honoring the parish staff, Mr. David Reed, Regional Manager, JCDC Eastern Region, Mrs. Paulette Sutherland, Parish Manager, JCDC Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Office. Members of the media, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, me greet you. And me da go greet you like how Miss Lou would greet you. I'm stealing it from the minister, but minister had it in my speech for true. It's right here. This long time, girl, we never see you. Go make we wheel and talk. This long time, girl, we never see you. Go make we wheel and talk. Come on, pediatric and cross. Eat out the blossom. Make me hold your hand, yeah. Make me hold your hand. It is my delight to greet you. And I really deem it a pleasure on behalf of the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, our chairman of the board, Mrs. Maxine Bisesa Bryan, and our management team. And we are an agency of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. And it is my delight to bring some remark as we are here for the unveiling of the statuette in honor of one of Jamaica's cultural icon, Dr. the Honorable Louise Simone Bennett, covertly, affectionately called Miss Lou. It's especially rewarding to be here to witness this tangible representation of the love and appreciation we have for Miss Lou. On this, the 103rd anniversary of her birth, it is also significant as it coincides with Jamaica's 60th year of political independence. Miss Lou has been described as Jamaica's leading comedian who was successful in accurately portraying the way of life of Jamaican people. She was able to capture all the spontaneity of the expressions of Jamaicans' joys and sorrows, or religion, or philosophy of life, and or wit. Her works particularly resonated with the average man on the street as they witnessed the impact that our everyday language was having on the global stage. Her works, especially the monologues and poems, removed the barriers between the rich and the poor because she was able to mimic the interactions in a humorous way. Today, as we witness the unveiling of this monumental statuette, let us reignite our commitment to preserving and showcasing the rich cultural legacy of our beloved Miss Lou, as it encourages the younger generation to develop a deeper appreciation for Miss Lou's contribution to Jamaica heritage. I take this opportunity to invite you, your family and friends from across the island, and those who are watching and listening from the diaspora, to join in the month-long celebratory activities that the JCDC will be hosting to commemorate the 103rd birthday anniversary of Miss Lou. Our schedule of activities can be viewed on JCDC's website at jcdc.gov.jm. We are on Facebook too, and we're modern. We're on Instagram. My media department makes sure, and we are on Twitter. Please continue to enjoy this special ceremony as we celebrate on Miss Lou Day, her birthday, and the unveiling of this statuette that has been a gift from the government through the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. Continue to enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam E.D. We're going to move on to a presentation by Dr. Aise Samaj Hall, a lecturer in the languages in English, literatures in English, thank you so very much, right here at the UWI. Am I seeing? Oh, there you are. We make you welcome to the lectern. Clap now, clap now.
Good morning, everyone. So today is a celebration. And on behalf of the Department of Literatures in English, I wish a very happy birthday to Miss Lou. The Honorable Louise Bennett Coverly is who we recognize as the confident embodiment of Jamaica's linguistic culture. Her decades of stage performances, television and radio recordings, writings, and poems all celebrate the voice of a people who wanted colonial independence. Whether read in the local newspapers during the 1940s or read in her publications today, her stories, characters, and her poems' personas speak with the voice of a people who believe that they have a unique cultural identity of which to be proud. She emboldened us. Yes, whether orally, scribally, or musically, Miss Lou offered her real voice and the fictional voices she created to uplift the Jamaican masses to speak Jamaican language with confidence. Of course, I cry, oh, what a sin thing to find out that in a few time now, enough people can't find proper work because them not chat England English. And true me wish said that a school picnic can pass class if she chat in the same voice that Miss Lou used to grace hallowed Jamaican, British, and Canadian stages. But we have not gotten there yet. What I'm saying is that as we celebrate Miss Lou, we must continue to do her legacy proud. The same voice that opened doors for Miss Lou for more than half of the 20th century shouldn't close doors for any Jamaicans seeking educational or employment opportunities today. Remember, Miss Lou uplifted us. She gave all away the confidence to speak Jamaican language publicly. Professor Emeritus Mervyn Morris was one of the first to uplift Louise Bennett's poetry as work that, while humorous and full of patois words and Jamaican proverbs, it was nevertheless to be taken seriously and studied seriously for its capacity to capture the sentiment of a people who were too often dismissed or ignored in the public arena. I also want to recognize Professor Emerita Carolyn Cooper for her critical work that recognized the gendered aspect of Miss Lou as the Connie Jama Oman that she is. And here, on Miss Lou's 103rd birthday, I say that it is my great wish that we continue to take Miss Lou's work seriously as a decolonial voice of poetry, prose, and stage performance. Hers is a heroic voice that has helped us to loosen our tongues, Fiwitong, proudly. Happiest birthday to Miss Lou. Let us keep honoring your work through our deeds. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Samaj Hall. I look at a youngster before me, and I remember when I would travel to Montego Bay, and I would take the judges with me, and this youngster was on stage performing, he and the others from Cornwall College, and when I look in program now, proudly I can say, Doctor. Oh, feel good, you see? And I feel even younger. Don't bother with it, sir. Okay. Now, we're going to have two performances before he should come to the lectern. We're going to have Miss Shanna K. Powell of St. Joseph's Infant School with a speech item called Dry Foot Boy. In fact, a poem by Miss Lou. And then we will also have on standby, right after that, without any break, we will have dance item, Linstead Market, Dunoon Technical High School Culture Club. So both wonderful presentations are going to come to you now. And as I told you before, you have to feed the performers. With them there. All right.
Dry Foot Boy by Louise Bennett. What wrong with me, Dry Foot Boy? Them girl got him for mark. And when me meet him Tarry night, the boy give me a shock. Me tell him same auntie, and him cousin them said howdy, and ask him how he's getting on. Him say, oh jolly jolly, me start to feel so sorry. Be poor bad lucky soul. Me think him go foreign land, go catch bad foreign coal. Me think him got a bad sore throat. But as him chat go on, me find out say a foreign twang the boy was a put on. From me notice that him answer to nearly all me say was actually what out there. And all them thinking there, nigga a joke, nigga them laugh. But here the boy, ha, I'm sure you got that polydash out of the cinema. Same time we lost me temper, and me holla, boy, chill out. Not chat to me with no appetite in your mouth. Him turn up like him stunted, then hear him. Oh silly, I don't think that I really understand you. Actually, must understand me. No, you them could scoop. Always visit Nana kitchen and give the gungo soup. But now all I can say is actually, boy, but tap. What happened to them sweet Jamaican joke here is to pop. Him get vexed and walk through the door. Him head inna the ear. The girl let him ball out after him. Not going, what? Oh dear. And from that night till today, them all got him for mark. Miss Mary Dry Foot Boy can't get over his shock.
So that was Miss Shanna K. Powell of St. Joseph's Infant School. And there you had another presentation of Miss Lou's work, that one entitled Dry Foot Boy. And now, the dance item. Ooh, Linstead Market, Dunoon Technical High School Culture Club.
Carry me out, go to Linstead Market, not a quantity what sell. Carry me out, go to Linstead Market, not a quantity what sell. Oh Lord, not a bite, what a Saturday night. Lord, not a bite, what a Saturday night. Saturday night. Lord, rockabye, what a Saturday night. Make me call it on the hockey, red and pretty them can. Baby, buy us on the morning breakfast, right and a million grand. Oh Lord, rockabye, what a Saturday night. Lord, rockabye, what a Saturday night. All the picnic a ling-a-ling, the way them woman don't bring. All the picnic come ling-a-ling, the way them woman don't bring. Oh Lord, rockabye, what a Saturday night. Lord, rockabye, what a Saturday night.
And Miss Lou would make fun of her. What kind of finky clapping that? What kind of finky clapping? The performers perform. Who if you clap them? Yeah, something like that. All right. So, you know, we don't have a problem with American talk, English talk, Canadian talk, and all of that. But where is the Jamaican talk? And that which cements us as the world stars that we are. The world look at us and admire us, you know, and talk good about we, Minister is smiling, and talk good about we. Sometimes we not so sure how good and great we are. So this kind of program helps us to understand that things Jamaican, and when we talk Jamaican, is good something. So whoever from them there says bad thing, we have to educate them now and say Jamaica thing is good thing. And it is right up there. Prime commodity right now. If you put a Jamaican word on a shirt, it's sell gone. Oh my, I gave away an idea there. Okay, fine. But at this time, because we have done the length and breadth of the country through the JCDC, and we have been the primary holders of the language and the style and the works of Miss Lou, yes, we can boast and say that. Let anybody else challenge me on that. And I know that this youngster here was a part of that trajectory, and he's here now as Dr. Joseph Farquharson, who is the coordinator of Jamaican Language Unit. He'll do a presentation now, and he will deal with the launch in recognition of the Jamaica Language Unit 20th anniversary. And of course, Doc, you have to say something to validate what I said. Don't make the people think it's story I'm making. Talk about when we come down to Mobile. Welcome him, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, a true attack. Thanks, Mr. Bradva. Morning, everybody. Minister Honorable Olivia Grange, respect Joe. And to everybody else in the room and on the internet, manners and respect. But more mention, say, Dr. Vivette Milson White, the head one for the Department of Language, Linguistics and Philosophy, there. That at the department where the Jamaican Language Unit day now. Professor Sylvia Cohenberg, the Dean for the Faculty of Humanities and Education, asks pardon because she would have loved to be there, but she couldn't come see a big university meeting. Today, on our birthday, we are celebrate the life and work of the Talawa Jamaican woman named Louise Bennett Coverley, where everybody call Miss Lou. If she did still a walk with we today, young people would call her Mama Lou. Because she is one woman who deserves enough respect for the whole heap of years she fight for Jamaican language and culture. And through the work she do, she shows a Jamaican a one good language. And we not have shame for talk it. Miss Lou confidence in a Jamaican thing strong. It did strong. And because she did listen to scholars like Frederick Cassidy, Beryl Bailey, and Robert LePage, who do work on the structure of the language, she confident. So she set a foundation where the Jamaican language unit come build pan. But it's easy for things that the JLU are just one 20-year thing. But the idea about for about 40 years now, when Professor Hubert Devonish write paper saying want set up one center where go plan Caribbean language like a Jamaican, Belizean, Bajan, and Raytete. And him said the first thing the center for do is start with news broadcasts so that the people them were taught them language here can get information in them own language. Now, listen how the Jamaican language unit start out. In 2001, the government set up one committee with people on the two sides of parliament. Them set up, in English, them call that joint select committee. Them set up the committee that will write over the charter we deal with the kind of rights and freedom Jamaican people must have under the Constitution. Professor Hubert Devonish and one set of linguistics student from UWI sent in one paper what tell the committee say they must add in the charter say nobody no fit treat no Jamaican different sake of the language with them chat. The committee agree say language rights important, but them say more information wanting pan the language thing. So Devonish must set up one center up at UWI to prepare the ground for the move there. As so comes the UWI Finance and General Purposes Committee, give the order to set up the language unit, and we start off in 2002. Let me just tell you some of the things them we do in the 20 years where we devote. For start out, we make people get to understand say language rights are human rights. Say by right, people can get service from them government in them own language. 2, for all who did things say news make for only English. The JLU for how much here now are put together and put out the news in the Jamaican language. We do it on radio and we do it on YouTube. The JLU add on couple things to the writing system where the linguist Frederick Cassidy make for the language in the 1950s. And we are spreading so that more people know the Cassidy JLU writing system that our Carolyn Cooper called the proper spelling, know that any time before in the history of the language. The JLU give important backative to the Bible Society of the West Indies to carry across the New Testament in the Jamaican language. Them do that from about 2012, that are when Jamaica celebrate 50 years. Sake of that, we got the enough set of writing on one topic in the language in the Cassidy JLU writing system. And right now, we are working with Wycliffe Caribbean to do the said thing with the Old Testament. And we done Jonah, Ruth, and I work on Esther now. In 2019, the JLU run a national call for the government make the Jamaican language official side of English. Enough people never hear the side of English part. That call there help keep the language question front and center. Nobody never did that before. Nowadays, more people in the education system attack say Jamaican and English must get the said respect and the said amount of use in the education system if we want better result. And by the way, the Jamaican language unit tried that out and it worked. And we tell people say it work, but them is hard. Not enough things in just 20 years. I mean, not even tell you no half of what we do. But we're not satisfied because we know, say, like the old time Sankey say, we always got one more river to cross. So here what we are going to do in this year Emerald anniversary. At the end of November, we are keep the 8th Cassidy LePage Distinguished Lecture. And Professor Anna Doimert from the University of Cape Town are going to give the main speech. On February 21, that are the UNESCO International Day for language where people talk from them born. That's mother language, by the way. We are going all our reasoning on the Jamaican language in the industry them where people use them head knowledge and make things for other people enjoy. And then down in April, we are going to put on the Beryl Bailey Symposium where we look upon the future of the language. Dr. Andre Coy from UWI Department of Physics, Dr. R. Anthony Louise from the Faculty of Education and Liberal Studies at UTech, Dr. Kadian Walters from Linguistics at UWI, and Dr. Celia Blake from the UWI faculty we deal with law are going to talk to we. We are going to put together the history of UWI in a Jamaican to celebrate the university's 75 years. We are going to put together 2 books with chapters from university scholars all over the world and write upon all sorts of things in a Jamaican. And we are going to bust the Mona corpus of Jamaican. We are going to call that Moko Jam, where scholar and teacher can use to find out more about the language. So if we protect the language in a fair time, Miss Lou wrap it up in a bandana and show us it got pedigree. More poet, singer, DJ, playwright, short and long story writer, long story, novel. Take the language from Linstead Market and Silas Market, dress it up in a brand new national costume, make out a black, green, and gold, and put it on the world stage, and say to the world, with this, deal with we, because you got tired for see we face, and tired for hear remote. Miss Lou spent her life down a Manuel Road, a broke rock stone. The rock stone was say few language not good enough. And it can't do this, and it can't do that. Enough time she broke them 2 by 2 and 3 by 3, but sometime she could have only broke them 1 by 1. But that stone here we named the Jamaican language, what the builder them dash way, it had take time to turn the head cornerstone. Miss Lou broke stone and put on the foundation, and JLU come a build upon her strong, strong foundation. Enough people think they are 1 room with a bill. But if English people and French people and them other one turn for them language in a big house, them can't move away. Jamaican language deserve big house status too. The JLU can build a house here, so every proud Jamaican, the JLU one can build a house here. So every proud Jamaican have to ask themselves what them a do to build up for them language. Just like how, what them a do to make sure, important point, say government and private sector no less count them, sake of the language what them talk. Just like how the British Council the British people give the British Council the strength in the 20th century to promote freedom language around the world, Jamaican people must give the JLU the strength to push few language said way. Reggae and dancehall don't carry the language abroad. We have to make sure so we get the backative so that Jamaican can get the benefit. JLU 20, I look upon how we move forward with the language, even when people who have power believe that we must keep ourselves quiet. Miss Lou never listened to them, and now, see, we dare give our thanks. In the next 20 years, which side of history you are going to turn up on? The no patois side or the Jamaican to the world side? Me thank you now.
So former speech performer of mine, if I can call him that, did well, you know, because you know that the skill to speak a language and to read a language is 2 different skills, you know. So you see him speaking as if it's easy to read. It's not easy to read the Jamaican language. So look at that. Very interesting. Thank you, Doc, for that presentation. I heard you talk about another jurisdiction, and I'm reminded that in other jurisdictions, they have interpreters for Jamaicans who speak, like in the court. Like in England, I understand that they have to have interpreters for some of the original Jamaicans who still speak Jamaican and not English, which is fine, you know. We can speak both English and Jamaican. That's all right, as long as we're not putting Jamaican down. That's where the challenge is. So to give us some more in Jamaican, we're going to invite another performer to center stage, and she is Miss Nigelika Jackson from Louise Bennett Coverley Primary, presenting a poem called New Scholar.
New Scholar by Louise Bennett. Good morning, teacher. How is you? My name is Sarah Poole. This is Femi little boy Michael. I meet Joseph bring him to school. In Bawa rainy day, ma. It was coming on tonight. Ugly baby grow pretty for you, for this one was a sight. In the week when Rufus jackfruit tree did start to bear. It's that same month who be pig dead. But me forgot the year. We call him me, Mike, Mikey, Jakey, Jacob, Jack. But his right name is Michael Jacob Alexander Black. Not treat him rough, your teacher. Him is a sickly child. As you touch him hard, him start to make noise. Some people say him while. Take time with him, your teacher. If him rude, I start for rave. This beat another boy, and he will frighten and behave. For enough time when him rude a yard, and not hear me not tell. I just beat the bedpost hard. Ma, and your waffy ear jack ball. Know that you know him little ways, and not having no fear that anything will melt him, so I left him in a care. Aye, aye, aye.
The famous aye, aye, aye from Miss Lou. Thank you for that, our young performer there. Wonderful. Miss Lou mastered many areas in the arts, and right now we're going to be treated to a music medley. This group out of Michael University, La Musiciano, is it? Some Spanish name they keep giving themselves, me and them. Because I said to the group leader, he needs to give us a specific Jamaican name, something like Yabba or something Jamaican. And me and you, and the public place here now. So anyway, next time we hear from them, they're going to have a Jamaican name, right, ladies and gentlemen? Right. But for this time, a special presentation now, Dry Weather House and Motor Mass Eliza from our lovely group from Michael University.
House, it don't water scent. Dry weather house, it don't water scent. Dry weather house, it don't water scent. And you have to pay so much for the rent. Dry weather house, it don't water scent. Dry weather house, it don't water scent. Dry weather house, it don't water scent. And you have to pay so much for the rent.
One Monday morning, the landlord went to a tenant to collect him rent. But the tenant said,
Master, come in no fool, me not pay no rent for no swimming pool.
look on the room you rent with you live. The whole roof is just like a sieve. When rain fall, if I sleep too sound, I swear to God, save me, I go drown. Look all the room them small. You can't even turn inside at all. If you have to turn, you have to come outside. Turn and reverse inside.
Some of the house now have no kitchen. Some of the house now no bathroom. If you want beard, you have to wait till late. Catch for your beard in a milk plate. Dry weather house, it don't water scent. Dry weather house, it don't water scent.
Dry weather house, you don't want a cent, and you have to pay so much for the rent. Dry weather house, you don't want a cent. Dry weather pay so much for the rent. Dry weather house, you don't want a cent, and you have to pay so much for the rent. Dry weather house, dry weather house, dry weather house. Every time remember Liza, Liza, your mouth. Mouth a musty Liza, you know hear your woman they call you. Your mouth they long, you know hear your woman they call you. Your mouth they fly, you must they lie. Them must say me they want you. Liza, Liza, keep by your mouth.
Liza chat, she chat, always she no know. She walk about from pillar to post and make some people bawl. But if you see she coming your way, no guard, not fit chat about. Liza,
Keep by your mouth.
go so. Chat too much.
Your mouth a massy Liza, you no hear your mama they call you. Your mouth dig along, you no hear your mama they call you. Your mouth they fly, you must they lie. Remember say me they warn you.
Liza,
Liza, keep by your mouth. You no hear me say, Liza say him call you.
Ezekiel say, you say, him say, a license up him throat.
The two of them a make a finger carry you go a court.
Liza,
Liza, keep by your mouth.
chat too much.
Thank you for that. We now invite our keynote speaker for this morning, the Honorable Olivia Grange, OJ, MP, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. Come, put your hand together.
You like that? Minister of Culture. Mrs. Lou would have said Minister of Culture. But it's great to be here this afternoon. And I just want to quickly go through the acknowledgements. Of course, I want you to clap our Master of Ceremonies, Andrew Broadbent. Clap him, as Miss Lou would say. And I would like to acknowledge Mrs. Marjorie Layton Curtin, our Acting Executive Director of the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission. I'm sorry I missed Professor Ian Boxhill, but I know he was here, he had to leave. In his absence, I'm still acknowledging the fact that he was here. Professor Opal Palmer Diesel, Chair, special acknowledgement to you. We work very closely on the 100 days celebrating Miss Lou's centenary. And of course, your 100 plus voices for Miss Lou anthologies is a milestone. I want to congratulate you on it. I want to also acknowledge Dr. Vivette Milson-White, Head of the Department of Language, Linguistics, and Philosophy. Dr. Rachel Mosley Wood, Head, Department of Literature and English. Dr. Joseph Farkas, who was with me this morning. And I have to tell you all, the sun burned him. The sun was so hot. It didn't just burn me. I was happy it burned him and some other people, right? But we really enjoyed this morning paying tribute, a floral tribute to Miss Lou. Also acknowledge Dr. Isis Samaj Hall, Lecturer, Department of Literature and English, Mrs. Jessica Lewis Marshall, Acting Campus Librarian, and Pastor Marshall Wade. I will just say I'm acknowledging the JCDC family as well. So, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, I just sit down there and I wonder if all of you pictured what Miss Mary Dryfoot Boy looked like. Now, from I was growing up in West Kingston, them tell me I have dry foot. And if I pass camp, they may use my cut off my foot and use them as drumstick. But I really sat there and I pictured Miss Mary Dryfoot Boy and how him come back from foreign Bossy. And so I want each of just picture him, right? And it would be interesting if we were to do illustrations of how you picture that Dryfoot Boy. It is with pleasure that I'm here today on the celebration of the 103rd anniversary of the birth of our Jamaican legend and cultural icon, Dr. the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, mother of Jamaican culture, affectionately known and loved by all. Miss Lou, I don't think there is one individual in this room who during your time at school, I know the present generation, you can see the display here, and I want you to give them a big round of applause. They have been fantastic. But those of us, the older folks and the young at heart folks like myself, we all had to do a little piece of Miss Lou in school. And I thought that was great. It was a wonderful experience because that is when we came into our own, when we were doing Miss Lou. If there's anybody here this morning, my generation and a little not far from my generation, so if you don't think that empowered you when you got up there to do a little piece of Miss Lou, then you're not really being truthful because it was a great experience, certainly for me. So Miss Lou understood long before many who now acknowledge it in their work that the everyday Jamaican was possessed of an extraordinary and indomitable spirit inherited from our ancestors that fashioned our traditions of self-discovery, self-promotion, and a feisty and fierce attitude. I mean, trust me, you know what I mean, don't you? Determination that we would celebrate who we are, and we continue to do so. It is a spirit that can be found in so many of the characters that populated Miss Lou's writings and performances. From Auntie Rochi sayings on the Jamaican people and society, to Uriah's brazenness as he took on a whole church congregation on behalf of his mother on any day when rainfall and past couldn't go to church. To Miss Claire, Miss Flo, Martha, and Sarah, the women who participate in the preparation of the celebration of evening time. To so many others we see in them mirrors of who we are. Who remember singing evening time in school? Let me hear you. Come on. We walk a mountain, we walk on mountains. You sound good. So Miss Lou's role constantly must constantly be celebrated, and our stories must be consistently retold. And there is no fitting space for this to be done than in the heartbeat of Caribbean erudition and scholarship and an environment of learning. It is truly fitting that this maquette or this mini statue, which will be unveiled shortly, is being located here at the University Library, where aspiring Jamaican and Caribbean leaders in academia, industry, commerce, and politics can come here for tutelage and example. Pause regularly to interrogate world politics, sociology, arts and culture, and economics. And yet, look at Miss Lou and understand your roots. It is my hope that it will inspire them as they themselves prepare to carry the baton for the continued restoration of the dignity and integrity of our enslaved ancestors, which was the aim and motivation of Miss Lou. After all, it is about, in this our 60th anniversary, reigniting a nation for greatness. We are a great people. And as we celebrate 60 years of independence, we must reignite that spirit. And one of the best ways of reigniting that spirit is to relive the Miss Lou experience. As such, it must be our intent that the placement of this mini statue will signal to students now and yet to be their own responsibility to advance further the work done by Miss Lou, as well as by such other outstanding scholars like Professor Mervyn Morris, and so many others, now gone but not forgotten, such as the late Professor Rex Nettleford and the late Professor Barish Evans, two persons who I admired and was inspired by. And still there are many others that carry the torch today, such as members of the Jamaica Language Unit. And I really want to commend your work. This brings me to recognize the celebration of 20 years of toiling by the Jamaica Language Unit, in continuance of the work done earlier by the Department of Language, Linguistics, and Philosophy, to ensure that the language of the Jamaican people stand in fulsome recognition among other global languages studied here at the university. It must also be celebrated that among Miss Lou's lifelong career was her determination to remove from the native language of the Jamaican people that stigma of undervaluation and its false, unequal relationship with the English language, of which some thought it was an inarticulate, unwelcome distortion. But, ladies and gentlemen and children, our language was not an unwelcome distortion. In fact, today, think of the rhythm and the colorful and braggadocious swag when we talk Jamaican, when we chat Jamaican, when we really want to express ourselves. In fact, sometimes it even gets a little bit too colorful. But then who says it's too colorful? Who determines what is a bad word from what is not a bad word? But I won't go there. I won't go there. But just to say that it is just a nice vibe, a nice feeling when I see those children up here and when they express themselves, you know, it's almost like they're empowered. But it is important to learn English. It's a universal language. But you take someone who is not very educated, who can't read or write, but who can be trained a skill by just using the Jamaican language that they understand and see how well they can be skilled and be competent at what they do. So, for Miss Lou, like English derived from French and Anglo-Saxon idioms, fluid Jamaican language was derived from English and African languages, introduced to each other on plantations during slavery and colonialism. It was a language of the people, and its survival was indicative of the people's survival of 400 years of efforts to undervalue, to demoralize, and to belittle them and destroy their humanity by European colonizers and enslavers. So today, we celebrate Miss Lou's impact on our Jamaican society and our life. Her work is built on the love she had for the everyday Jamaican. Some people say the ordinary Jamaican, but nobody not ordinary. It's just the everyday people. As such, every movement, every pronouncement, every jab at our society's often hypocritical norms was delivered with the kind of truth and bravado that allowed us to find love and laugh at ourselves through her work. We all, everybody in this room, we live each other's lives through Miss Lou's works. The things she said, the poems she wrote, the things we laugh about, we can see it in each of us. And the powerful capacity that she displayed to use laughter, an intrinsic element of the Jamaican character, to interrogate and articulate impressions and opinions on social, political, and cultural practices for the edification of a whole society. Miss Lou understood the importance of humor. The ordinary or the everyday Jamaican knew how to take bad thing, make laugh. Even if they were stressed or hurting. Miss Lou told me a story about her performing in Canada. And they created the stage over a swimming pool. And when she did her thing and she come to take her bow and she just back, and she back, and she back, and the next thing, she was swimming in the pool. And when she told the story, I mean, you just couldn't help it. You just laughed because she was laughing about her experience. And she would say that we know how to take kin teeth, keep a heartburn. You ever wear a pair of shoes about you? I know what it feels like because I grew up in West Kingston. My father was a shoemaker and my mother was a dressmaker. And I wear some pretty frock like the one today I'm wearing from Nigeria, right? And I used to wear some pretty shoes, but they bought me. I'm just a skin my teeth. Walking up a pretty frock and just skin my teeth. I couldn't get home fast enough to take a heel back blister. But think of the kids in rural Jamaica who didn't have shoes. You know? But you see me if you don't put that on blister too. They walk in the hot sun on the ground. But you know, it's a wonderful experience to be in Jamaica. This just took me right back into my days. I was pretty frock and my shoes have burned me like mad. Anyway. So, Miss Lou promoted laughter as a signal element of our approach to life. Whether it is in light, frivolous moments, in the stories or in serious, even tragic situations, the use of laughter is integral to the works and worldview of Miss Lou. Within the impact of laughter was also the ability to laugh at yourself, like I just did, or to laugh about one's condition and even to laugh about each other's experience. When somebody fall down and you laugh, you feel, you feel it for the person. But but you kind of turn around and you laugh, but you do feel it for the person. So Miss Lou herself learned to laugh heartily. Hers was a contagious laughter that filled the room and the hearts of its occupants. Yet we always knew we had to be careful not to indulge only in the comedy or humor, nor only in the criticism or satire, but rather to uncover and unearth the philosophy and worldview she was bringing to us as we discover ourselves through her work. And her work has had a great impact. It has impacted the world through many genres of music, because when we sing dancehall lyrics and all our lyrics, Bob Marley, who have given this great musical icon to the world, when he sings, it's a mix of Jamaican and English and any other influences that we have had. And Miss Lou has greatly impacted our culture throughout the years. So among the examples that come to my mind and which have inspired me over the years since my own growth and development in West Kingston was a poem performed so well today by Shauna K. Powell of St. Joseph's Infant School, right? Dryfoot Boy. And Dryfoot Boy is the story of the Jamaican migrant who returns home to Jamaica and makes the pretense of not remembering his native language and culture. No, how many of we do that when we go and come back? I had an uncle who was in the army, got on a plane, flew out with his other colleagues. They did not stay a day where they went. For some reason, the flight came back. And when he got off the plane, he ended up with an accent that he never lost. So considering he's like about 6'4", well built. I remember as a little girl, I'd see him in this tanker, the army tanker, which actually was on display when we did the float parade recently. And he'd be standing there. And I say, "Hi, I'm Amos." And I would get them to go around, you know. That's us, Jamaican. So I could relate to Dryfoot Boy, right? And it's seen as unacceptable behavior, of course, in Miss Lou's poem. He suffers mockery and criticism, and he storms out of the place to rapturous laughter. And people, the onlookers, continue to tease him. So I can't match the performance there. But I just want to quote some lines. Him get vexed and walk through the door. Him head in at the ear. The girl them ball out after him. Not going. What? Oh dear. So the message to the society is clear. Always remember where you're coming from. And I'm saying to all of you, always remember where you're coming from. And yet paradoxically, Miss Lou understood the other side of the Dryfoot Boy story. This was the Jamaican who had spent a stint abroad and who came back, maybe not a piece better than how him did go away. but it is an old yet current Jamaican story that recognizes the need to manifest the trappings of one's, what you say, success? One's development as identification of a new status acquired through migration, right? In this case, it was the need to dress up the language with foreign accent or twang, because he probably never have an extra shilling in his pocket. But he had to show that he had improved his life. Nothing wrong with that, right? Nalika twang confirms the Jamaican belief that development must always be manifested, and for our advancement, we need to understand this. And so the story ends with the woman exhorting the young man to try to impress his father by doing this. Who knows Nalika twang? Oh, it go? If you want to please him, make him think you bring back something new. You always call him Pa. This evening, when him come, what you say? Boo! You're too sure. So, Miss Lou, I see Granville wiping tears. So, Miss Lou encompassed the substance of the Jamaican character. She captured them all. She was able to articulate the sociological and political aspects of our lives as depicted through the politics of culture and identity. Hers was the determination, in the face of criticism and repudiation, to celebrate the integrity of the culture of the Jamaican masses. This was the same mass of our people who would indulge in their creative imagination and create what we now boast as a globally recognized cultural idiom of reggae music, which was recognized by UNESCO in 2018, November 29, 2018, among the intangible heritage of humanity. This was the same mass of our people that created and espoused Rastafari as the only new religion. Remember that. The only new religion given to the world in the 20th century, and subsequently connecting Africa at the core of the Jamaican cultural policy and practice. So today, I think I should wind up now. Today, on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, I am happy to, in a few moments, to unveil the miniature statue of Dr. the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, OM, OJ, MBE, poet, songwriter, mother of Jamaican culture. And may those of the new generation of young who are here with us and the old intellectuals who pass by look up at her image and be inspired by her vision, her purpose, and commitment to the artistic, cultural, and social excellence of our Jamaican people. May they recall, may you recall, how she celebrated the language that we all and our ancestors created and positioned it as a necessary equivalence with the English language. You know, I recall many Jamaicans, them speak English, you know, but we have a way we drop a H, and where there is TH, we forget the H. I mean, we're our own people. We do our own thing. We do our own thing, right? And we don't feel the way about it. Some of our politicians will come with the mic and them talk and you understand what they mean. And some people said, Lord, them English bad. But yes, them English bad, but them language good. So, as I wrap up, Miss Lou, as a songwriter, and I mean, there are some really popular songs, but there is a song in particular that I just love. And I think there's a lady here I call Natty. And I'm sure she knows this song. And there are others who know it. Right? Femi Love, a lion heart. And I think it's one of the most beautiful songs that have ever been written. Natty? I don't go like you're afraid. Come. We're bossy and we're brave, right? So, Femi Lover. Femi Lover, lion heart. Strong and everlasting, only for you.
Oh, dear me, we love Minister.
Femi love can never die. Femi love will never die.
Shining like the sunshine,
Only for you.
Let us try this one more time and get some Come on, everybody just stand up and enjoy. Enjoy Miss Lou. So we're going to try it one more time. And where are the singers who were here earlier? Where are they? Come on, let us try it again. Come. All right. 2, 3. Yes. Okay.
Of lion heart.
Femi love of lion heart, strong and everlasting,
Only for you.
Femi love can never die. Femi love will never die. Shining.
Lasting. Only for you.
Thank you, clap yourself. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Minister. Can you stay with us? And you know, Minister did something very special in her presentation. Because for her to tell her own story, part of her own story, and make fun of herself and laugh and have me laughing, have us laughing. Minister, you know, easy, you know. Not at all. So thank you so very much, Minister, our real minister. And Professor Opal Palmer Addis, chair of the inaugural Louise Bennett Coverley Festival Committee, will join us here, center. And also Dr. Joseph T. Farquharson, our coordinator, Jamaican Language Unit, will come forward, as well as Mrs. Jessica Louise Marshall, acting campus librarian of the UWI Mona Library. Please come forward. Also, our acting ED, Mrs. Marjorie Layden Curtin of the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission. Please come forward. Photographers, videographers, help us so that the lineup is correct. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I just want to say, when I handed over this maquette to Professor, she was very clear that she was going to make sure she protected this piece of art and ensure that it was mounted, and at the appropriate time we would unveil it. So I think you should give her a big round of applause for ensuring and securing it. And so today it's really my pleasure to unveil.
Thank you again, Minister. And of course, our videographers are capturing this ceremony for the live audience. I'm asking also that the photographers bear in mind the presence of the videographers so that we can have a clear view to our live. We also have Dr. Vivette Wilson White. Head, Department of Language, Linguistics, and Philosophy, who will join the unveiling team. Just a minute, the videographers, please. And hold the line up, please. Let's take time and do it right. Let's do it right, please. Thank you so very much. We're streaming live, so we have everybody to look at what we're doing. I will. We're going to go after 3, 2, 1. The unveiling, ladies and gentlemen, by our minister, Honorable Olivia Grange, JCD MP, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. And somebody need to put their hands together and give a thunderous applause. Clap, clap, clap as it comes down and we get to see. Woo! So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking at the statuette of our beloved Miss Lou, unveiled by our minister and the team joining there. And we're very happy that this moment is here, being captured in all the various formats on the various platforms. And we are delighted that the artist whose work is so good is also on display right now. So we are very happy for this. We are quite thankful that this has happened. And we are grateful for all those who are helping us to make this such a wonderful moment in our history. We are so very thankful and appreciative. And we have every right to also acknowledge our sponsors, and they are in fact the Jamaica Language Unit, Tasty, This Is Really Great Yogurt, and Dairy Industries. Thank you so very much, Minister and the team. Thank you. As we acknowledge Dairy Industries, This Is Really Great Yogurt, Tasty, and the Jamaica Language Unit. We continue now, and we're going to go back to performances. I just wanted to say that I too have been inspired by Miss Lou. Not now, from a long time. From I was a performer in high school, and the pandemic allowed for a number of things to happen, which were also good, because I too got to writing and said, I need to put out my little 2 words to just like Miss Lou. So this is my little selfish plug. But it's not really a selfish plug, because you expect me to be doing good things as well, even in my position. So I too have brought forth a work, Seclusion, Celebrating Jamaica, which is available online. Amazon, you can get your own copy. No, Minister, it's not a commercial, but you'd want your Director of Arts Development and Training to be doing something, right? And not just sit down so, right? So I want to say that I too am inspired by Miss Lou, and this is a product of it as well. I see somebody, welcome. And then I also want to say that poet and performer Miss Lou was one of the most influential figures in Jamaican culture, a champion on Jamaican Creole. She was a patriot committed to correcting the colonial legacy of self-contempt, and she cleared the way for others by demonstrating that Jamaican Creole could be the medium of significant art, what we now call Jamaican, our own Jamaican language. Some of her best-known books are Jamaica Labrish, 1966. For those who did not look at that over there, that display, at some point before you leave, you can have a look. Anansi and Miss Lou, 1979, Selected Poems, 1982, and Auntie Rochise in 1993. So now we return to this segment of the program, part that you really enjoy, and we now invite another performer, this time from Jesse Ripoll Primary, Tahira Walters, and she'll be doing Dirty Tough.
Sun a shine, but things no bright. Do a pot a boil, bickle no enough. River flood and rain a fall. Rain a fall, but dirty tough. Nowadays the times so hard. When you ask somebody how them do, them afraid they take it, tell them back so them not answer you. No care how much we did a work for hard times, still in our shot with a fight. Hard time a beat we. Them might raise the wages, but £1 gone on power food and we no feel no merriment. For £10 gone on power pay and £10 per rent. Saltfish gone up, mackerel gone up, beef and pork gone up same way. And when rice and butter ready, them just gone for holiday. Cloth boot pin and eagle gone up. Ice bread taxes, water rate, kerosene, oil, gasoline gone up. And the pound, it devaluate. The price of bread gone up so high that we can all agree to cut we hype on bread and turn dumpling refugee. And all the maga somebody them will act like fat is a sin. When they come round me, I left we know to dumpling. Sun a shine, but things no bright. Do a pot a boil, bickle no enough. River flood and rain a fall. Rain a fall, but dirty tough.
Thank you so much for that, Tahira Walters. And as we flow and get the program rolling, I hear thunder and thing going on out, you know. So let's move very swiftly. And now, a musical presentation, a music item, Bongo Man. And this time we are celebrating with St. Annie's Primary as they present a music item, Bongo Man. Feed them with the applause, ladies and gentlemen. Make them come forward now and thrill us.
Me take it by suit and saddle. Wheel and turn me, turn now wheel me. You must have want me figure fall long. Leave my belly pan tambourina. Not here Jeremiah, not here, not here Jeremiah, not here, not here Jeremiah, not here, not here on the silk and saddle. Not here Jeremiah, not here, not here Jeremiah, not here, not here Jeremiah, not here, not here on the silk and saddle. Mo wash me, start me iron it, and spread it pumping with maca. I want no time, fashionable drunk girl. Come show it in a spiritual corner. Wheelo, 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 wheelo. Follow, lift my belly pan tambourina. Not here, Jeremiah, not here. Not here, Jeremiah, not here. Not here, Jeremiah, not here. Not here, oh, my silk and satin. Not here, Jeremiah, not here. Not here, Jeremiah, not here. Not here, Jeremiah, not here. Not here, oh, my silk and satin. Silk and satin, silk and satin.
Not tear off me silk and satin. All right, this time we go to colonization in reverse. And this presentation comes to us from Marvelly Primary and Infant School. Come on, keep your hands. I know me. Let's welcome Marvelly Primary Infant, colonization in reverse. Indeed. And as we prepare for the dance item, the exhibition will run from September 7th through 30 here in the UWI Mona Library. We also have on display from one of our current music teachers, Miss Aquila Mattison, who recently published her first poetry book, and one of our former teachers, Pastor Marsha Wade, author of Patois Tales. So congratulations to you both. Indeed, we continue our program now with a dance item, Chichibodo, Lord's Dance. Lord? Okay, take off the S, Dance Ministry.
And now, my dear, we're going to sing my favorite Jamaican folk song. I'm going to say it from it was the first song I knew when I was a little girl. It's the first folk song, digging song. Going to school, they were always sort of digging up streets in Kingston. Chichibud, flock of birds. Some of them are hollow. No, I know you say Chichibud, I make you say so. Some of them are hollow. A Chichibud, some of them are hollow. Me tired.
So then it just leaves for me to say thank you, everybody, all the officials, minister. We appreciate you staying with us. All doctor, professor, all the dignitaries, them, big on up, and our special performers, all the little ones, the lovely ones. Oh my, we thank them. The teachers, the principals, all the staff, videographers, photographers, everybody. Thank you so very much. What good.
Female love have lion heart, female love have lion heart, strong and everlasting, only for you.
Yes, we have a request for all the performers to come center stage so there can be a group photograph, and we are told that there are books available on sale outside from the Jamaica Language Unit. So all performers, we're asking for them to return to center stage for a group up, a group photo up, and there are books on sale. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Play back that song, sir.
So here we are, yeah. I'm so happy, thank you. We're on the same team, we're on the same team. Yes. Female love have lion heart, female love have